What's going on, everybody? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back. Listen, Shannon Sharpe did an interview with Deion Sanders yesterday on his channel called Club Shay Shay, and I invite you all to go take a look at it. And I was thinking about it, the whole situation. I made videos about Coach Prime and him leaving Jackson State, and why I feel as though the way I felt. And a lot of you guys gave me some comments about how you felt too. Even though a lot of it was opposite of mine, I still respect the comments. But I think three things, in my opinion, were very detrimental to him leaving. And I think the first thing is a lack of ideals, or a confliction in the ideology of what it took to build a successful school, as far as being an example for other HBCUs to follow. I think that's just me. Another thing is, I think it was a lot of disappointment the man had went through, and there might have been disappointment on both sides. And that's the thing. I think he was disappointed because he had a vision or a dream of what he wanted to do. And I think the dream wasn't initially, when he got there, the dream wasn't fully formed. Because I think over time of being there and having different experiences happen, a lot of different things opened up where a lot of other options that he thought closed. So thus his vision had changed. And I think he needed a lot of outside help that he wasn't getting from the school. And I think it goes vice versa. I think the school understood it as Deion Sanders coming down here, and things are going to happen a certain way, and their expectations wasn't met as well. Now, I think another thing was, with both expectations or ideologies not being fulfilled the way the two parties looked at it, I think that a lot of aggravation was brewing under the situation. And I think honestly, it was only a matter of time before both parties split anyway. And that's just my opinion, but I really have a strong idea of that because a few things that come across. Number one, since he's left and he had this interview with Shannon Sharpe, he said, basically what I got from the interview, and this just happened yesterday, where it was posted yesterday. I don't think I know he's unfazed by any of the criticism, because he mentioned it. He's unfazed by any of the criticism, and he's focused on moving forward, which is a good thing. And I think Jackson State is too. They haven't really said anything bad about him. He hasn't said anything really bad about them. But the thing about the situation with Deion Sanders, and everybody's asking why, he gives little snippets to where you can fill in the blanks or come up with your own conclusion, to what happened, and he'll just leave it at that. And that's what this video is about. Like I said, he's unfazed about what happened, and that's one of the things. Now he said, he misses the kids and stuff, and he misses the AD, but other than that, you can tell he doesn't. He's focused on what he got to focus on. Another thing, I think he honestly tried to provide solutions from what he was saying in the interview. I think he honestly tried to provide solutions, not just for the football team and the sports, Jackson State sports, complex as a whole, but I think the school as well. And I think he wanted to do it like he wanted to make Jackson State the standard. And then other teams in the SWAC and HBCUs could use it as something to follow or look up to model themselves behind. And I think that's where it goes back into ideology. I think a lot of that came with a lot of bumping heads. Who he was bumping heads with, I don't know. But I think the president was one of the main people he had problems with. And I'm going to tell you why. Every time he speaks, he always speaks highly of the AD. If you notice in these interviews, he never says the president by name or the word president at all. He only talks about the AD. And that's strange because the president would be the one to sign you up and you would negotiate and all this stuff. He would have to okay all that. That's your boss of bosses. He doesn't even mention the man. So I know, I'm going to say I know. I don't know, but I mean, looking from the outside in, it looked like they had real issues amongst each other. You know, Prime Time is an electric figure. You got an attractive type personality. A lot of people don't clash with that. You know, I don't know the president. You know, I don't know how he is as a person, but you can tell from the way Prime Time speaks that something's off there. Because I mean, he never mentions the guy, never mentions him by name or by position. Another thing he said, and like, you know, it goes back to what I was saying, like with aggravation and stuff, him being aggravated. I think a lot of stuff, like how he mentioned the fire alarms and stuff in the previous interview, I think it was little things that was bothering him. You know, he might have caught flack from some of that stuff too. Nobody knows. Like, you know, like when I say little things, he said the fire alarm. And now I think it was a lot of repeating himself, and he felt as though he didn't have to. Because like I think about when they said he was cutting the grass, right? Now I've seen pictures of him supposedly cutting the grass. But I think honestly, you know, he shows by example, and he gonna do that because in the interview he was talking about, listen, part of his vision was having these young men, you know, being a male role model for these young men and getting them exposure. And the way I looked at it, you know, in all of the whole total thing, he brought rules. You know, he brought a sense of order with the young men, and he brought a lot of professionalism. Like he brought up how he didn't want them. I seen this on one of his old videos where he said, he had told them in the break room, in the meeting room, hey, I don't want you in here with slides on. I don't want you in your cell phones when we playing games. You know, he was bringing a certain type of order there and a professionalism. You know, he had them wearing suits. Like NFL players, when they go traveling on the road or going to games, they had on suits. You know, he was trying to set a standard to show them, hey, man, you're a young man. And I appreciate that. I respect it, too. The other thing is, when I say he was showing by example, like when he went out there and cut the grass, you know, I think he was trying to get the message off of, hey, listen, don't expect nobody to do nothing for you. If anybody gonna help you, just go out there and do it yourself. You know what I mean? You'll be rewarded later or whatever like that. And I felt that. Another thing is, and this is cool what he brought up, what Shannon Sharpe had brought up, people saying that he sold him a dream and he was a con man. He answered that with the normal answer, you know, that he usually gives about, you know, what did I sell anybody? Everything I said I wanted to do, I did, you know. I built a winning program, and he said he can only do so much as a football coach. I understood that. But this is the thing that he said that I was like, well, you can't really get mad at the man over this. He said when he signed on as the coach, he said the AD pulled him to the side, was like, hey, man, listen, just give me 2 years. Can you give me 2 years? He said, and he never disclosed that to nobody, except on Shannon Sharpe's that video yesterday. He said, I can do that. I give you 2 years. He stayed 3. So, I mean, I think they knew he was going to leave. I mean, I know they probably knew he was going to leave, but he didn't put it out there. You know, and he could have said that at any time. He could have said it in the Colorado interview. He could have said it at the Celebration Bowl pregame interview, the press conference. He could have said it. And I give that man credit. No matter what his differences are with the school, and their difference was him, he never said nothing bad about him. You know what I'm saying? Now, behind closed doors with his friends, he probably, you know, he's a human being. He's going to tell somebody, you know, his pain. But he never in the media at all discussed it because he knew his friend or somebody, they were going to have a coach eventually going to be there. And it's not the kid's fault. 2 differences between men doesn't affect the whole campus or anything like that. and I respect him about that. I mean, he could have really, you know what I mean, he had the world's ear. He could have really went in. But I mean, I agree with him, it wouldn't have been beneficial to anybody. But like I said, man, he never said that like he gave, oh, here's another thing. He gave high praise to the AD. And I mean, he'd been doing that, so I guess they must be really good friends. He also addressed the situation with Eddie Robinson Jr. And he gave him high praise. He said something along the line like, you know, he was just caught up in the moment. He understood. You know, that's good that he acknowledged that. But all in all, guys, you can go ahead and take a look at it. The reason why I did this video, though, is I want you to look at the video and tell me what you got out of the situation. And in no way, shape, or form is this video to bash Jackson University or anything, because I think it's a very important lesson in this whole situation. You know, sometimes when people get hired at jobs and you get more than you expect, sometimes we got to check our egos at the door and just work together for a common goal. And I think that's one of the main things that happened here. I think, honestly, at Jackson, they have a certain way of thinking, how the school should be run and what they want to do. And I think Deion Sanders was kind of like, hey, listen, I feel that, but we got to do this before we get to that point. And I think it was just a difference in ideology and nothing more. But as always, guys, man, leave me a comment, man. I definitely want to hear from you. Give me a thumbs up. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Appreciate you spending the time with me. And I definitely want to hear what you guys want to say. Watch the video. I'll leave the link in the description box. Watch the video and then come back with, you know, what you think and leave it in the comments. I'll see you guys. Thank you so much.